Welcome back to the Professionally Casual Podcast. This is episode 6. I am your host, Professionally Casual. Today, I want to talk some hoops. Yes, hoops. The Olympics are going on, and obviously Team USA is playing. Obviously, I'm rooting for them. I'm a U.S. citizen, so, go for gold. As of this recording, it is August 9th, so they play tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, for the gold against France, which is going to be a fun game, right? Victor Wembanyama, obviously against USA. He's the best player on the France team, so that's going to be very exciting. But today I want to talk about NBA teams this upcoming season that I will be watching a lot of, and I'm going to be explaining why I'm going to be watching them. Right, this list, 5 teams, 3 from the West, 2 from the East. I'm going from, most watched to obviously still going to watch them a lot, but not as much as the first one, right? So let's just get started. First team, OKC Thunder, right? This is the team that I'm going to be trying to watch every single one of their games, whether they're playing the Lakers or whether they're playing the Pistons, you know what I'm saying? Whether they're playing the Mavericks. I'm going to be watching them just because this team is that good and that talented. Their roster is loaded, and I mean loaded with a bunch of great players, and I think why the Thunder intrigues me so much is not because they have so much star power, right? Like some other teams, let's say who's loaded with star, like the Kings, right? They got DeMar, they got DeMontis, they got De'Aaron Fox, they got 3 stars. But here, you kind of have the superstar in in Shea. You have the superstar in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and then you have a bunch of really, really good role players like J-Dub, like Chet Holmgren. You got some great bench players like Isaiah Joe. Then you got Cason Wallace. Then you got Lou Dort, who isn't coming off the bench. But then you got Alex Caruso. Then they got Isaiah Hartenstein as well with Alex Caruso. I mean, this team is going to be amazing, right? Year 2, Chet had an amazing rookie season. Year 3, J-Dub was cooking, was a little iffy in the playoffs this year, but obviously he's in his 3rd year, right? So he's only going to get better. And I already mentioned it, but they added Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, come on. Like, this could easily very well be Shea's MVP season, right? Last year, obviously, he came up short. I think he was, 2nd? But this year, I mean, they're guaranteed a top 3 spot in the West, and the West is no joke. So it's crazy. Number 2 is gonna be the Knicks. Yes, the Knicks. Last year came up short. Fucking one of the most fun teams to watch last year. I've probably had. No, yeah, they're probably the funnest team to watch the playoffs. Right, like in the playoffs, I was watching every single one of their games, bro. I just love how they play. They hustle, and I love watching teams hustle. And yeah, they're absolutely stacked, just like the Thunder. I mean, they added Mikal Bridges. They did lose Isaiah, like I mentioned, but Mikal Bridges is a really good player. So, you know what I'm saying? They're stacked. I mean, they still got Mitch Robinson. I forgot to mention that. They still got Mitch Robinson. Yes, they lost Isaiah Hartenstein, but they got Mitch Rob, and they got Precious Achiuwa, who's also a really solid player. So, they didn't lose a lot of depth from Isaiah. The Villanova boys, them motherfuckers gonna run the East, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really, really excited to see that. Also really excited to see how Julius Randle is gonna fit, considering he missed a lot of time last season, and the Knicks had a really good run in the playoffs. So it's now that Julius Randle come back, who knows what they're gonna do? Who knows how he's gonna fit? Who knows what role he's gonna play? Now that Jalen Brunson is that guy, but I think he's gonna do good. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, he's definitely a I'm going to get my shot off type of guy, but I'm thinking that, I don't really know. Julius Randle is a pretty particular player because he's going to get his shot offs, so whether he's hitting them or not, he's going to get his shot offs, and he's always going to do those post touches. But, I'm curious. That's another reason. I'm also curious to see how Julius Randle is going to fit, but nonetheless, I'm going to watch them. Number 3, the Grizzlies. Did we forget about the Grizzlies and how good they were before last year? This team was god-awful this year, obviously. But they had a lot of injury, like the worst injury luck I think any team has had this year. Jaw obviously was suspended for a quarter of the season, then he came back, then injured for the rest of the season. Desmond Bane was out for a lot. I remember for a long time, Jaren Jackson was out, not for a long time, but he was out for a good time. Then obviously they got Marcus Smart, and then he was out, and then not to mention Brandon Clark was out. So, they had a lot of bad luck. But, I just miss seeing Ja play, right? Like, I didn't think I'd miss him. Whoa, pause. I didn't think I would see his production, like, miss him being out there until he came back. I'm like, holy shit, I forgot Ja Morant is a really, really good basketball player. Like, I don't know how I could forget. But, yeah, this team's going to be cool. I'm also very curious to see how they're gonna play, right? Like they obviously haven't played with each other for fucking almost a season, basically, right? So I want to see if they're gonna be, a little rusty, and it's gonna take a while for them to really get back into it, or maybe, they'll just pick off where they left off. They're just gonna be one of the best teams in the West, and the West is stacked. So I'm really curious to see how they're gonna pan out. Number 4. This is a sleeper for me, honestly, because it's the 76ers. Number 4 is the Sixers. This team is really good. And for me, the main reason why I say it's like I'm kind of surprised that I want to watch this team so much is because their best player, Joel Embiid, I kind of don't like watching Joel Embiid play. Like, I can acknowledge how good he is offensively and defensively. Like, I know he's one of the best players in the league, but I just don't like watching him play. I honestly find it kind of boring, right? That little hezzy he does every time at the top of the key mid-range. Like, I find it boring. And obviously his free throws aren't going to help. He's getting fucking 15 of them. But, I'm not one of those fucking NBA fans that's like, oh, he's a foul baiter. It's the game of ball, right? He's going to get buckets. Those are easy buckets. If the refs are going to call him, he might as well just keep getting them. So that's what I think. But yeah, I want to see how PG is going to do, obviously, right? They got PG. But with getting PG, this is going to be a year for Embiid to really, like, go for it. Like, he has to go for it now, right? This is one of the best constructed teams around Joel Embiid, and all eyes are going to be on him. Like, if you don't succeed now, it's like people are really, really going to be turned off now. Like, before they were already like, oh, Joel Embiid can't make it past the second round. But with this team being this good, it's like Joel Embiid has to make it past this round, right? So, yeah, and also really like Jared McCain, right? Their rookie. They just got Jared McCain. I love his game. Honestly, I'm going to keep it a buck. I do not know. I haven't watched no college game of his, but I know he's a good catch-and-shoot player, and he's a pretty solid offensive guy, right? And that's low-key what the Philly needs, right? Like, they could use some catch-and-shoot shooting, right? Joel Embiid can get in there. He can just kick it out, and Jared McCain just shoot the ball. That's all we need. I know he's a really good shooter, and that would be perfect. And, obviously not to mention Tyrese Maxey, solidified star. You know what I'm saying? He's amazing. Really excited for him to be in his, fourth season? Really excited for him. And last but not least, the Spurs. Yes, the Spurs. And come on. We all know why we're watching the Spurs. No one's watching the Spurs for anyone else but Victor Wembanyama. Yes. It's for that French motherfucker, who's going to play tomorrow, by the way, as of this recording, for the gold. Go USA. 2-year Vic, second-year Vic. Man, I have a feeling this is going to be a movie. Like, Vic is just going to be everywhere. I know he's like, last year, first half, good, right? But obviously he was, you know what I'm saying, he was a little rocky for sure, obviously, like most rookies, right? The MVP race was him and Chet. Boom. Either or. Second half of the season, don't play with that boy. Don't play with that boy. Don't play with that boy, Vic, man. Second half of the season, Vic ran away with that fucking rookie of the year. He ran away with it and never looked back. And he was like, what? I think he ended up at least top 5 in DPOY, and that's with the Spurs having a terrible defense. And it wasn't because of him, obviously, though. It was a terrible defense, but it was a lot better than it would have been if Vic wasn't on the team, right? So, like, if the defense is even good, that's all Vic, right? So he's amazing. And he's got Chris Paul. Come on. Chris Paul, point God. He's just going to feed him the fucking ball. Vic is going to average like fucking 35 points. And Chris Paul is going to average like 13 assists a game just because all Chris Paul has to do is feed the rock to fucking Vic. And Chris Paul is really good at getting your guys in sets and passing the ball. Obviously, he's one of the greatest point guards of all time. He's one of the greatest minds of all time of the game of basketball. So I'm just really excited for this team, right? And Vic is an all-star next year. Obviously, like it's like a lock, basically, right? He wasn't in it this year just because, no rookie has done it since, I think Blake Griffin. I think it might have been Blake Griffin. But yeah, Vic is an all-star next year no matter what. Unless something, God forbid, he gets a not career, but season-ending injury or injury that makes him miss a lot of time. But, healthy, Vic is a solidified all-star. So yeah, those are 5 teams that I'm really looking forward to. I have a lot of teams that I'm also interested in seeing. One of them is gonna be the Bucks. They did lose a couple of guys, and also they didn't make a lot of moves this season, right? Like they didn't make a lot of moves this offseason, shall I say. Honestly, I can't even name you one player that they added or traded besides Patrick Beverley, and he didn't even trade him. They just let him go, and he went to he's playing overseas, or he's gonna play overseas or some shit. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to seeing how, the gelling period. Maybe it was just a one season. Maybe Dame and Giannis just needed that one season to a little rocky season. Then next thing you know, they pick it up. Boom. Another team, the Dallas Mavericks, obviously, right? We're just in the finals. They did lose Derrick Jones Jr., but they added Klay Thompson, a good amount of shooting with some solid defense. So I really want to see how that plays out. That's another team I'm going to be watching a lot. Let's see. The Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Second year, they didn't lose anybody. I really thought either Cat or Rudy Gobert was going to get traded. Someone from that team thought was going to get traded. But, they're running it back. Obviously, Ant had an amazing playoff run, except for that, obviously the Maverick series where he started off really slow. But, we're trying to see how well the Minnesota team's going to do. And honestly, just the whole West in general. The whole West in general is going to be a dogfight, man. The Rockets are going to be better. Who else? Who else is in that damn team? I think the Warriors are going to fall out. Man, I hate to say it, bro. I really do hate to say it, man. But the Warriors, I think it's over for them, man. I don't think they're going to make it to the play-in. If anything, they're probably going to be like a 10 seed. They barely made it this year. They barely made it this year. I think next year they're not going to make it. The Lakers, who knows about the Lakers, man? The Lakers are always so confusing because on some nights it's like, damn, the Lakers finally figured it out. But then on other nights it's like, god damn, trade the whole fucking team, bro. Trade the whole goddamn team. The Lakers, the Kings, obviously, I forgot about the Kings. I just mentioned them earlier. Obviously got the Mars, so that's going to be very, very interesting. We'll see how that pans out. Who else? Oh, the Nuggets. They did lose KCP, which is very tough. Very, very tough because KCP is really, really good and was crucial for the Nuggets. They added Russ, but obviously that does not replace what KCP does. I already said the Nuggets, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, the West is just stacked. Out East, honestly, it's just the top dogs, right? I mean, Celtics, obviously, right now, they're my favorites for the East. The Knicks are up there as well. Like I said, the Philly also up there. The Bucks kind of up there. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt. The Cavs are definitely not a contender. They're probably top. I'm gonna say at least top highest seed they can probably get four. Just because, like I said, there are a bunch of teams above them that are way better. They did keep Donovan Mitchell, which was good because that was a question in and of itself. Like, they did not know if they were going to lose Donovan Mitchell, and, they locked him up, so we're good, right? Unless he wants out. But for now, got him locked in. The Magic. Don't sleep on the Magic, man. Added KCP, man. Another year for Paolo. Hopefully Franz gets his shot back. Another year for the younger guys, man. That team has a really bright future. They're going to be really solid. The Pacers, the Pacers, Pascal, right? An actual offseason with Pascal and Tyrese Halliburton that, they had a really good run, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, shall I say. But yeah, this team's going to be pretty solid. I'm very, very excited for next year. Hopefully we get a new NBA champion. Back-to-backs are cool. And right now, obviously, the Celtics are probably the favorite. Definitely the favorite, I would say. Not by a lot, actually. Like I said, the Thunder are up there. The Thunder right now are my West favorites. But I hope we get a new champion. It'd be really cool. I like when there's back-to-backs. It's cool. But I like even more when it's different winners, just because, there's so much parity in the league now. We mentioned earlier the West is stacked and the East is obviously getting way better. It's very top heavy, the East for sure, but it's still very, very talented nonetheless. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. It's pretty short. Just wanted to talk about a little bit of hoops, not too much, not too long. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment down below about anything you want me to talk to, or, listen, watch, talk about. I said that already. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.